this all take. I'm new, okay? Go easy on me, because you know I ain't the one. So you know, and make your order quick, but order slow, okay? Welcome back to my channel. It's your girl, you guessed it, Charlie Allen, aka Channeling Charlie, aka Stella the Storyteller, and you guessed it right, it is story time. It's story time, okay? Are y'all ready? So my story today is going to be about Cracker Barrel. And if you guys don't know what Cracker Barrel is, it is a restaurant where you just go and get country fixings, cornbread, fried fish, greens, and it's very like country southern home style cooked food. So this story is going to be about how I got hired and fired in the same week. I didn't last long, y'all, but you know, so stay tuned so you can hear this story. You guys, I can't even deal. Alrighty then, so let's get to the tea. So I'm sure if you guys haven't eaten there, Cracker Barrel has been in the news a lot of times for getting sued for, you know, accusations of racism and segregation and workplace harassment and all type of allegations. Now, although I have worked at Cracker Barrel, oh, well, I wouldn't say worked, I'll say went through some training at Cracker Barrel, I can say for myself I hadn't experienced any racism with the staff that I work with, but only from customers. But you know, you can find a Cracker Barrel off almost every 5 exits off the highway. When you're traveling, you see it's old country farm looking store, and you know, they've been in heat time and time again. I'm just going to share with you my experience at working there for a week and the things that happened to me and why I got fired. Okay, so this had to be like 2001, 2002, probably 2002 to 2003. So me and my sister, we're living together at that point, and my son is about at that time 2 years old. And I start to see her coming home with all this money, all these 1s and 5s and loose change, you know. I'm like, girl, what you doing? Let me find out you got a side hustle. But my sister was a full-time college student at that time, and I was full-time employed, and all I know and all I seen was her coming in the house with all this money, and I'm like, oh my gosh, she's got so much money all the time, like buying this, buying that. I'm like, I'm trying to be down, sis, you know, what's up? Get your sister hired, you know, let me what are you doing? So she's like, you know, I picked up the part-time job at the Cracker Barrel off 71, and so I'm like, okay, cool, you know, get me on. I think at that point she had to be working there probably about 6 months to a year, I'm not exactly sure. And so at that point, me and my sister shared a car in life, so if one of us had to be at work, the other one would drop each other off so the other person can keep the car. So she's like, okay, that's cool, and I really only wanted to work there part-time. So she's like, no problem, I'll talk to my boss to see if I can get you hired. I'm like, okay, cool, you know, I just want to pick up some extra money. I'm a young mom at this point in time, so all the money I can get is what's up for me. So I've never really had a serving job before. It was my first time. My sister ended up talking to her boss, John, and I ended up getting right away in the door. My sister was a very good, pristine worker. You know, she did her job, never showed up late, you know, the best of the best, you know, too good to be up in there, okay? So, anywho, she gets me hired, and I'm going through my training process and my buddy shift. So my sister had requested that I work with her up until they release me onto the floor by myself. with her as she's greeting tables, as she's serving them, you know, trying to see how she's working the room, because my sister has a charisma about her that, you know, when she's talking to her guests, they just fall in love with her. And she's super sweet, super nice. Me, on the other hand, at that point in life, I'm young and I'm too legit to quit, baby. I don't have the patience for it, nor do, you know, I just want to get the people their food out as quick as possible and, you know, make this money, because that's all my mind was focused on, was pocket, you know, pocket full of money. Mind you, I was with my sister up until that entire point, and it had to be maybe 2, maybe 3 shifts max, okay? I'm at home and my sister doesn't work that evening, so I'm thinking that I don't work that evening. So they call me in saying, hey, you were supposed to be here at 5 p.m. You know, why didn't you show up for your shift? And I said, oh, I just thought I was going to be paired with my sister. Boom, boom, boom. They're like, no, they put you on the schedule. La da 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 da. So come in. So I get up and I rush into work, and I get there. I look at the floor plan and they give me 2 tables. Like, if you've ever worked in Cracker Barrel, they're the tables that are closest to the fireplace in the inside, to the right of the wall, that's sitting up against this partition that they have there. So I'm like, cool, I'm always cold, it's in the winter time, cool, I'm gonna be nice and toasty. But at the same time, I kind of don't know what I'm doing. Now, I don't remember how to ring everything in. You know, I'm not the best at holding a server tray. I'm not the best at remembering orders. My sister, she never wrote anything down. My first table down, and I greet them, and they were nice. They were a young couple, and you know, I started out by telling them, hey, my name's Charlie. This is my first day, so you know, go easy on me, aka don't order the minimum. Don't be up here telling me what you don't want, what you want to add. Take this off. I'm new, okay? Go easy on me, because you know, I ain't the one. So you know, and make your order quick, but order slow, okay? So I can make sure I get everything down. And so I'm chit-chatting with them, and they're young. They're like around my age. Very cool, but they were the table furthest from the fireplace. So I get sat, and it's an older couple, and the couple comes in and they sit down, and before I could even get to the table, the husband is saying, where's my server? And I'm like, hey, how you doing today? I'm gonna be your server today. So he looks me up and down, like with disgust, like just, I'm like, hi, how are you doing today? And he's like, we need menus. We need menus. Hi, how are you today? How are you? How are you, ma'am? Ma'am. So don't nobody speak at this table, huh? Okay, all right, cool. I already see how this gonna go. All right. Okay, well, Billy, what can I get you? Some menus would be nice. You know, very sarcastically. All right. All right, so I go get him the menus. And before I can even sit the menus on the table, he's snatching them out of my hand. So now, if y'all, I grew up in Parkside. I ain't the one to be played with. Man, I mean, like, the manners were at an all-time low, okay? Period. What's up? Do we have a problem? Y'all, I almost lost my cool, okay? So, before I can even get out of my mouth, what could I get you guys to drink? He's like, Cokes. I want a Diet Coke, and my wife wants a regular Coke. Okay. Coke for you, a Diet Coke for you. He says, no, a Coke for me, a Diet Coke for my wife. Okay, sir, so you want the Coke with or without the attitude? Like, at this point, I'm livid. Now, my sister, she is like a professional with the tray. She got it, she doing this, you know, she doing that. Me, myself personally, it's my first day on the floor. I got the tray in my hand. Let me see if I can mimic something for y'all. So I have the tray in my hand, and so that I don't get their drinks mixed up, because a Diet Coke and Coke look like the same in a cup to me, okay? So I put the tray up against my body, and then I put his Coke on one side and I put the Diet Coke on the other side. So as I'm walking back to the table to bring them their drinks, I have it up against my body like this to keep it steady, to keep it sturdy, because I'm not at all comfortable handling a tray. So I get to the table and I take the tray from me and I go like this, and I'm getting ready to place the wife's drink into my hand so I can serve her first, you know, because he was being rude or whatever. He was gonna get served last. Okay, before I could even pull her cup off the tray, the husband takes and grabs his cup off the tray. And remember, hers was on this side and his was on this side. So when he pulled his drink off the tray, y'all, the wife's Diet Coke went all over him, okay? So as the drink spills on him and he's like, oh, well, I've never. I'm sitting there like, what I do? What I did? What I do? Y'all learn how to keep your hands to yourself. They call servers because they supposed to serve you. So you thought you was being funny? Looks like the Coke's on you. Y'all know, you know he had to act like he was wounded and abused, okay? He get to sitting back in his chair like, well, I've never. And I'm sitting there like, well, I ain't never had nobody snatch their drink off my tray either, sir. You know, like, you should have waited your turn. Like, nobody told you to touch my tray. This is not none of your belongings. What is wrong with you? So he's like, get me a manager, get me a manager, get me a manager. So I go get the manager. You know, I ain't got no problem, sir. You shouldn't have been touching stuff that don't belong to you. You know, next time, keep your hands to yourself. Keep all hands, feet, and objects off other people. Okay, I know you learned that in school with your rude self. So anywho, when he grabbed his drink and this went lopsided, so I go ahead and let the tray go with it. I mean, if the drink gonna go on him, might as well let everything go on him. So he's you know, he's all in the chair like the you know, like the serving tray done wounded him. He's all acting all like this and stuff. So he just keeps saying, well, I've never seen somebody get as red as you in 5 seconds. Like, you should have calmed down with the attitude. And so he says to me, I knew I should have asked for a white waitress. Yeah. So let me get this straight. Let me go get you one. So as he's doing all this hysterical movements with his body and he's so flabbergasted, the manager comes up and the manager is like, oh, we apologize, sir. You know, we didn't mean for this to happen. Oh, she's new and this and that. And the guy just wanted free food. So he's like, me and my wife, whatever we eat tonight is free. So, you know, the manager asked me to step off the floor and go to the back. No, because he ain't even about to sit up here and lie to you real quick. No, he ain't about to get that off on me. Now, you know, y'all. And you know, I was in there losing it because this was before I had a relationship with the Lord, okay? So I was in there like, keep your nasty hands off people's stuff, you know? And so the couple behind them said, yeah, he did grab her tray. And so he turned around and told him he better mind his business. He old young whippersnapper, and stay out of grown folks' business. So the girlfriend turned around and said, okay, Mr. Fizz, y'all, I lost it, okay? I lost it. I forgot I was at work, okay? And so the manager asked me to go to the back and, you know, just cool down. So he come back there and he said to me, you know, even though the customer did that, the customer is always right. Okay. So we just happened to be short-staffed that night, so he couldn't get any other waitress, and none of the servers wanted to serve him because if I pissed them off, that means they weren't gonna get a tip. So he was left with me. So I go back out there on the sales floor, and I have my little handy dandy notebook. You know, the guy, he's vividly pissed and soaking wet, and his wife is just sitting there embarrassed because her husband acting a fool, and they still have to get served because they hungry by the person they just disrespected. So I take out my notebook and like I'm going to take their order. Now mind you, they're ordering their food and I ain't writing nothing, okay? I look like I'm writing, but I ain't writing nothing because at this point, I don't even care. I don't even care what they want. They better hope I hear right, okay? They better hope I hear right. So the husband, I asked him what would he like to eat. So he playing deaf. All right, ma'am, what would you like to eat? And so she orders catfish, fried catfish meal with green beans and hash brown casserole. And so I go back to him and I'm like, what would you like to eat? And he's like, no, I guess I'll have this. Never in my years of coming here have I ever been so totally disrespected and this, that. I'm calling corporate. Meet me outside. I'll clock out. Meet me outside. Meet me outside. Meet me outside. Okay, back. Now mind y'all, I'm barely 30 minutes in my shift, okay? 30 minutes in my shift. Barely 30 minutes in my shift, okay? And all of this done happened. It's gotta be 5:45 at the latest, 6 o'clock at the latest. Okay, I still had another 4 hours to go. Okay, so I say to myself, he ain't about to let me miss no money. I'm not about to let this dude control my money at all. He ain't got that kind of power over me. I'm stay here and get these tips, baby. You know, he just got the shivers me timbers. He was cold from that coke. Running all down his pants like he was soaked, y'all. When I tell you karma come back and bite you, baby, it comes back and bite you, okay? You would think twice about being rude to somebody else. For real. Don't play with me, play with your mama. And by this time, I see my sister coming in. They done called my sister on me. They done called my sister on me, y'all. So she coming in the store and she like, what happened? What happened? What's going on? What's going on? So basically, guys, I had the worst serving experience ever. Yeah, I was one and done. I said, I don't know how the people in the service industry do it on serving people. I mean, people act like they're so entitled, like they better than other people. Like, why would you want to be rude to people handling your food? First and foremost, and just ask them a question. Why? Like, people are gonna have their food, your food, in their hands. You might want to rethink that, okay? So if any of y'all going up in these restaurants acting a fool, remember, y'all food is back there, okay? Dang. So basically, after they finish eating, I go over to clear the table so I can get sat next again. And of course, there is no tip. And you know, they wanted the manager to fire me and to do this and to do that. And of course, you know, it didn't happen, at least not at that part. Okay, y'all, I still had 2 more worrisome tables to go. And I am going to do a story time part 2 and a story time part 3 if you guys would like to hear all the way to the end of how I got fired that day. By 5 o'clock, fired by 9:30, okay? And no lie, you know, my sister said she was never ever gonna get me hired anywhere else, and she never ever did. So, you know, well, I've never, you know, the audacity, the audacity of this man. Anywho, guys, thank you for listening to this story time. Don't forget to comment, like, and subscribe if you haven't done so already. Help your girl out. You know, we in this together. Love, peace, and hair.